guys, Latest Action here, a channel where we discuss the latest and greatest in all things comic book. I'm back with another video for you guys, and this time it's going to be one of my movie reviews. So, today we're going to be talking about Gotham by Gaslight. Yes, a new DC animated film by Warner Bros. Animation. In this comic book adaptation, Batman takes on an entirely new look, taking place in the Victorian era, which years range from 1800 to 1900. The main story focuses around the fictional city of Gotham, where Batman has just donned the cape when a series of elusive murders start to happen all around the town. It turns out that these killings have been perpetrated by the notorious killer, Jack the Ripper. And yeah, I know, Jack the Ripper took place in Europe. However, for this comic book adaptation, the spin is it takes place in America, in Gotham. Of course, we have our familiar characters. We have our Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. We have our Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman. We have our Alfred, Harvey Dent, Harvey Bullock, Cyrus Gold, Commissioner Gordon, Barbara Gordon, and Hugo Strange. In this animated film, Batman is voiced by Bruce Greenwood, who isn't the usual voice actor Kevin Conroy, but he does a pretty good job of capturing the voice and the accent of who Batman is. And because of the era that he is in, Batman does not have the usual technology that he's accustomed to, so he has to make do with what he has. He has his pre-aged grapple gun, he has his steampunk bike, and his suit is a petticoat with just his logo on it. And because he has these things, his fighting style seems to be different. It's more of a 1930s boxer style, where they're always putting their dukes up. The first time we see Batman, he actually emerges from the shadows to break up a robbery that some young boys are having against an older couple, where their adoptive father apparently steps in saying that they are punks and that they're weak, and to attack Batman. Batman eliminates the boys with ease, thus making the adoptive father step up. Once the adoptive father steps up, Batman beats him down completely, to the point where he's bloody and bruised. Batman tells the boys to run home to mommy. However, they reply that they don't have a mom, that they're orphans, and that the adoptive father is all that they have. And if they were to leave him, he would just hunt them down. Then Batman breaks the leg of the adoptive father. It was one of the most hardest scenes in the entire film. Batman is still our typical playboy Bruce Wayne. He leaves his big mansions on the outskirts of town to move into a small townhome in the city to get in close to his investigation of Jack the Ripper, all the while continuing to have his various run-ins with Catwoman herself, Selina Kyle. Selina Kyle, she was still Catwoman without actually being Catwoman. In this film, she was more of a exotic dancer for stage, a playgirl, who still at the end of the day went out and kinda sorta fought crime in her own sexy Catwoman kind of way. It was pretty cool still to me. Of course, Batman and Catwoman eventually hooked up in the film, because in every film they hook up because that's just what they do. But Alfred was still Alfred. He looked the part of Alfred. He dressed like Alfred. He still mastered Bruce Wayne. He still mastered Bruce Wayne, and he still was his pickup driver in that little horse-drawn carriage, and he was still setting his clothes out for his nighttime adventures or his nighttime entertainment. It was definitely a different spin on the usual Batman storytelling. However, for the villain, Jack the Ripper, oh my God. The guy never said two words, however, was one of the hardest, one of the most badass DC movie villains I've ever seen. The guy literally walked around with a doctor's suitcase and a scarf wrapped around his face, and he literally was the coolest thing I've ever seen. He went toe-to-toe with Batman, something I've never actually seen someone do other than maybe Ra's al Ghul. He really was going toe-to-toe with Batman. Batman was throwing punches, he was ducking, he was dodging. Jack the Ripper had always had two steps ahead of Batman, and I thought that was pretty cool that Batman really had a challenge on his hands. But usually, when Batman goes up against a villain, he always comes up with the ha, boom, boom, there it is. That's how I'm going to solve this problem, and he solves it. But in this film, every toe-to-toe match that they had, he was pretty much beat. So Batman had to outthink him pretty much at the end to save the day. Other characters that we had in the film were, of course, Harvey Dent. He wasn't really Two-Face in this film. However, his personality at the end showed him that he was a shiesty character. He wasn't someone that you definitely could trust. At the end of the day, he ended up stabbing Batman in the back. Hugo Strange played a mad scientist as usual, who was a consultant for the city's mayor about the craziness and rampage that Jack the Ripper was causing in the city. Jack the Ripper's original goal was for him just to cure the city by killing all the harlots and the thotties, basically. Any woman that he's seen unpure who wasn't doing her womanly duty at the time. Many influential women in the city spoke out against. For example, Catwoman made a statement about if it was men out here getting killed, the police would be all over it. However, because it's females who want the best in society, so the police are just twiddling their thumb to the replies of Commissioner Gordon, stating that we're doing everything in our power to help keep these women safe. But Catwoman doesn't buy it. A new character that was introduced in the film was Sister Leslie. She was the nun of the town who took in the stray kids and orphans, and also the different types of women that Jack the Ripper was trying to cure. Who I guess relationship with Batman is, when his parents were killed when he was younger, he was originally taken into the orphanage by her before he was adopted by Alfred. Later in the film, she becomes a target on Jack the Ripper's radar and eventually is killed. I believe Jack the Ripper killed her because she was a symbol of hope for these harlots or this infestation that the city was facing, and he wanted to do away from her so these harlots wouldn't get the idea that they were safe in doing what they were doing. After her passing, the city completely went on lockdown. Everyone was being accused of being Jack the Ripper, even Batman himself. Thus, he was framed for the crime and was sent to jail because he was spotted the night of Sister Leslie's murder by an insane churchgoer who tried to blackmail Batman for money. While in jail, Catwoman finds out that Batman is actually Batman and begins to go tell Commissioner Gordon. Batman eventually breaks out of prison to stop her. Batman proceeds to go to Commissioner Gordon's house to see where Commissioner Gordon is. However, the wife answers the door and states that Commissioner Gordon is not there. Batman steps in to take a look and sees, to his surprise, that Commissioner Gordon is actually Jack the Ripper. He has a room full of different weapons, knives, tools, and different scenes about disgusting women in the town. Barbara Gordon reveals that he is down at the big state fair carnival, thinking that Selina Kyle is now with Commissioner Gordon. Batman sprints into action to get where she is. Upon arriving, Batman sees that Catwoman is already being hunted by Commissioner Gordon, who is now Jack the Ripper, full-blown costume. Batman proceeds to stop him, but once again, he goes toe-to-toe with Batman. Where the altercation happens, the entire fair catches fire. So now they're fighting in the engulfed flames, which was pretty cool to see as a final fight scenery. Batman is bested by him, of course, with the help of Selina Kyle. Batman had to outthink him and use a trick that he learned from Houdini to get him cuffed to the Ferris wheel. Once Jack the Ripper is bested, Ripper keeps repeating how much he's disgusted with the filth and environment going on in the city, and that he will rid the city regardless. Batman says he's going to take him into the police. Before Batman can, Jack the Ripper, aka Commissioner Gordon, steps back into the fire and completely burns himself to death. And before Batman can do anything, the entire Ferris wheel is about to explode. So he jumps down. Catwoman emerges after being severely beaten by Jack the Ripper to help. And finally, at the end, Arthur arrives yet again to save the day to get Batman home safely along with Selina Kyle. The movie ends with one of the three boys stating that they're going to rebuild Gotham. They're going to make it something new. They're going to make it something better. All in all, I think the film was pretty cool. The story is told in a steady pace, which gives the audience a chance to catch up and really understand everything the story is trying to tell. From the metaphors to introducing each of the characters to the storytelling, as well as the message that the story keeps. Simply, I'd give the film about 8 out of 10 stars because it does a great job of telling a different type of Batman story, but at the end of the day, it's just something that I'm not used to. And if they continue to do this, I may get accustomed to it, but right now, we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below. Leave your comments for what you guys thought of the film or any ideas you guys may have for my next video. But until then, this has been Latest Action, and I'm your host, Genuine, and there's so much more to come, so stay tuned.